Let's look at the first exam question. In this question, they give us PQRS and they tell us it's a kite. And then the coordinates of P is 3 and 5. S's coordinates is -1 and -4. PQ is equal to QR and PS is equal to RS. Then they say Q is a point such that PQ is parallel to the x-axis and PQ is equal to 5 units. RQ is perpendicular to the x-axis and the diagonals intersect at the point A. Let's look at the questions. In the question, they give us that PQRS is a kite and that PQ is equal to QR and PS is equal to RS. Then Q is a point such that PQ is parallel to the x-axis and PQ is equal to 5 units. And then they also say that RQ is perpendicular to the x-axis and the diagonals intersect at A. And one of the properties of a kite is that the longer diagonal bisects the shorter diagonal PR perpendicularly. So that means the angle at A is 90 degrees and PA is equal to AR. In the first question, they ask us to show that the coordinates of R is 8 and 0. R lies directly below Q, since they told us that QR is perpendicular to the x-axis, and QR is equal to PQ. They gave us that the length of PQ is 5 units, so that means the length of QR is 5 units. And since Q and R lies directly below each other, they have the same x-coordinate. We don't know what the x-coordinate is, so we can just say that it is x. So the coordinates of R will then be x and 0 because R lies on the x-axis, and the coordinates of Q is x and 5. And the reason for that is that QR is 5 units, so the y coordinate of Q will then be 5. And now we can determine the length of QR using these coordinates, and then we put the length equal to 5. So the length of QR is equal to the square root of the difference in the x-coordinates of Q and R squared plus the difference in the y-coordinates of Q and R squared. And this is equal to 5. So we then write the square root of x minus 3 in brackets squared plus 5 minus 5 in brackets squared is equal to 5. And now we can simplify what is under the square root. X minus 3 squared will be equal to x squared minus 6x plus 9. 5 minus 5 squared is equal to 0 squared. And now we need to solve this equation. So we square both sides of the equation. That gives us x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 25. And since this is a quadratic equation, we need to write it in standard form. So we subtract 25 from both sides of the equation. That gives us x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Then we factorize the left-hand side. That is x minus 8 multiplied by x plus 2 equals 0. And then we get two values for x. X is equal to 8 or x is equal to -2. But since R lies on the positive side of the x-axis, the coordinates of R will be 8 and 0. This question counted 4 marks. You get 1 mark for the substitution into the correct formula, 1 mark for standard form, 1 mark for the factors, and 1 mark for the correct x value. Question 1.2. Write down the coordinates of A. As we said in the beginning, one of the properties of a kite is that the longer diagonal bisects the shorter diagonal. So that means A will be the midpoint of PR. So to determine the coordinates of A, we are going to use the midpoint formula. And that says that the x-coordinate of A will be equal to xp plus xr over 2, and the y-coordinate of A will be yp plus yr over 2. Then we put the values of the coordinates into this formula. X-coordinate is 3 plus 8 over 2, and the y-coordinate is 5 plus 0 over 2. And this simplifies to 5, 5 and 2, 5. This question counted 2 marks. You get 1 mark for the substitution into the correct formula and 1 mark for the answer. In question 1.3, they ask us to calculate the gradient of SQ. And for that, we are going to make use of the gradient formula. The gradient formula states that the gradient of SQ is y of S minus y of Q divided by x of S minus x of Q. This is equal to negative 4 minus 5 over negative 1 minus 8. This simplifies to negative 9 over negative 9, and that is equal to positive 1. So the gradient of SQ is positive 1. This question counted 3 marks. You get 1 mark for the gradient formula, 1 mark for the substitution of the correct values, and 1 mark for the answer. Question 1.4, determine the length of PR, and we are going to determine this length using the distance formula. So PR is then equal to the square root of xp minus xr in brackets squared plus yp minus yr in brackets squared. This is then equal to the square root of 3 minus 8 in brackets squared plus 5 minus 0 in brackets squared. And this simplifies to negative 5 in brackets squared plus 5 in brackets squared, and that's equal to the square root of 25 plus 25, and that equals the square root of 50. That simplifies to 5 square root 2 units. For this question, you get 2 marks, 1 mark for the substitution of the correct values into the correct formula, and 1 mark for the answer. In question 1.5, you have to calculate the area of the kite PQRS, and the formula for the area of a kite is equal to a half times the product of the lengths of the diagonals. So in this case, it is equal to a half times PR times SQ. So now we need to determine the lengths of PR and SQ. We have the length of PR as 5 square root 2, and now we only need to determine the length of SQ. So the length of SQ is equal to the square root of the difference in the x-coordinates, so that is minus 1 minus 8 in brackets squared, plus the difference in the y-coordinates of the 2 points squared, and that is negative 4 minus 5 in brackets squared. This simplifies to the square root of negative 9 in brackets squared plus negative 9 in brackets squared. That's equal to the square root of 81 plus 81. That is equal to the square root of 162. And this simplifies to 9 square root 2 units. And now we have the lengths of PR and SQ. So now we can determine the area of the kite. It's going to be equal to a half times PR, and the length of PR is 5 square root 2, times SQ with length 9 square root 2. And this simplifies to 45 units squared. For this question, you get 3 marks, 1 mark for the length of SQ, 1 mark for substituting into the correct formula, and 1 mark for the answer. Question 1.6, show that PR is perpendicular to SQ. To show that 2 line segments are perpendicular, we need to determine the gradients of the 2 line segments and show that the product is equal to negative 1. We've determined that the gradient of SQ is 1, and now we need to determine the gradient of PR. The gradient of PR is the difference in the y coordinates of P and R divided by the difference in the x coordinates of the 2 points. And that is 0 minus 5 over 8 minus 3. That simplifies to negative 5 over positive 5, and that equals negative 1. And now we determine the product of the gradients of SQ and PR. That is equal to 1 times negative 1, and that equals negative 1. And therefore, PR will be perpendicular to SQ. This question counted 3 marks. You get 1 mark for the correct substitution into the formula, 1 mark for the gradient of PR, and 1 mark if you determine the product of the gradients of the 2 segments. In question 1.7, we need to show that triangle PSR is an isosceles triangle. We know that it has to be an isosceles triangle because PS is equal to RS since PQRS is a cut. But now we need to show this, so we are going to determine the lengths of PS and SR. The length of PS is equal to the square root of negative 1 minus 3 in brackets squared plus negative 4 minus 5 in brackets squared. This simplifies to square root of negative 4 in brackets squared plus negative 9 in brackets squared. That is equal to the square root of 16 plus 81, and that equals the square root of 97. Then the length of SR is equal to the square root of negative 1 minus 8 in brackets squared plus negative 4 minus 0 in brackets squared. This simplifies to the square root of negative 9 in brackets squared plus negative 4 in brackets squared, and this also simplifies to the square root of 97. So now we know PS is equal to SR. We know that the length of PR is equal to 5 square root 2. So this then means that triangle PSR is an isosceles triangle since 2 sides are equal. This question counted 4 marks. You get 1 mark for the length of PS, 1 mark for the length of SR. Let's look at the second exam question. In this diagram, they give us P with coordinates 7 and 4, Q with coordinates 6 and 6. The coordinates of R is 0 and 3, and S has coordinates D and K. And they are vertices of quadrilateral PQRS. In question 3.1, they ask us to calculate the length of PQ, and we have to leave the answer in surd form. So what we do first is we write down the formula for the distance between P and Q, and this gives us the length of PQ, and that is equal to the square root of XP minus XQ in brackets squared plus YP minus YQ in brackets squared. And now we put the coordinates into the equation, so this is equal to the square root of 7 minus 6 in brackets squared plus 4 minus 6 in brackets squared. That simplifies to 1 squared plus minus 2 in brackets squared. And please note that I put the negative answer in brackets and then square it, because if it's not in brackets, the negative is not squared, and then you'll get a negative answer under the square root, and that is undefined. So make sure to always put a negative answer in brackets and then square it. And this simplifies to the square root of 1 plus 4, and that equals the square root of 5. So the length of PQ is square root 5 units. And for this question, you get 2 marks, 1 mark for the correct substitution, and 1 mark for the answer. Question 3.2, if the coordinates of T is 7 over 2 and 7 over 2, and T is the midpoint of QS, determine the coordinates of S. So on the sketch, you can see that QS is the diagonal of the quadrilateral, T is the midpoint of this diagonal, and now we have to determine the coordinates of S. So the midpoint of QS will then be equal to t with coordinates 7 over 2 and 7 over 2. And the midpoint formula states that the x-coordinate of the midpoint is the sum of the x-coordinates of q and s, and that we divide by 2. So that is 6 plus t over 2. And then the y-coordinate of the midpoint is the sum of the y-coordinates of the two endpoints, q and s, and we divide that by 2 as well. So it's 6 plus k over 2. And that equals t with coordinates 7 over 2 and 7 over 2. So from this, we can see that 6 plus t over 2 will be equal to 7 over 2, and 6 plus k over 2 will also be equal to 7 over 2. So now we set up two equations. The first one is 6 plus t over 2 is equal to 7 over 2. We multiply both sides of the equation by 2, and that gives us 6 plus t equals 7. And then we get that the value of t is 1. Then we do the same with the y-coordinates. 6 plus k over 2 is going to be equal to 7 over 2. We multiply both sides by 2, and that gives us 6 plus k is equal to 7. So therefore, k is equal to 1. And the coordinates of s is then 1 and 1. This question counted 3 marks. You get 1 mark for 6 plus t over 2 equals 7 over 2. 1 mark for 6 plus k over 2 equals 7 over 2. And then 1 mark for the final answer. Question 3.3. If the coordinates of S are 1 and 1, show that PR is equal to QS. PR is the other diagonal of the quadrilateral, and to show this, we need to determine the length of PR and the length of QS and show that the two answers are the same. So we start with the length of PR. That is equal to the square root of the difference in x-coordinates of the 2 points squared plus the difference in y-coordinates of the 2 points squared. So this is equal to the square root of 7 minus 0 in brackets squared plus 4 minus 3 in brackets squared. This simplifies to the square root of 7 squared plus 1 squared. That's equal to the square root of 50. And this simplifies to 5 square root 2. Then the length of QS is equal to the square root of 6 minus 1 in brackets squared plus 6 minus 1 in brackets squared. And this simplifies to the square root of 5 squared plus 5 squared, and that is equal to the square root of 50. That simplifies to 5 square root 2. And now you can see that both the answers are the same. So that means that PR is equal to QS. This question counted only 2 marks. You get 1 mark for the length of PR and 1 mark for the length of QS. Question 3.4. Show that QR is perpendicular to RS. You need to know that for 2 line segments to be perpendicular, the product of the gradients of those 2 line segments has to be equal to -1. So what we do is we first determine the gradient of QR, and that is equal to the difference in the y-coordinates of Q and R divided by the difference in the x-coordinates of Q and R. And that is equal to 6 minus 3 over 6 minus 0. And please note, if you started with the y-coordinate of Q in the numerator, you have to start with the x-coordinate of Q in the denominator. And that simplifies to 3 over 6, and that equals a half. And then we do the same to determine the gradient of RS. That is equal to 3 minus 1 over 0 minus 1. And that simplifies to 2 over -1, and that equals -2. And now we determine the product of the 2 gradients. That is equal to a half times -2, and that is equal to -1. And therefore, we can conclude that QR is perpendicular to RS. This question counted 4 marks, 1 mark for the gradient of QR, 1 mark for the gradient of RS, 1 mark if you determined the product of the two gradients, and 1 mark if the answer was -1. Question 3.5, hence, that means use your answers in the previous questions. What type of special quadrilateral is PQRS? Motivate your answer. PQRS is a rectangle, and the reason is we showed in question 3.3 that PR is equal to QS. That means the diagonals of this quadrilateral are equal, and in question 3.4 we showed that QR is perpendicular to RS. So that means angle QRS is 90 degrees, and if one interior angle of a quadrilateral is 90 degrees and the diagonals are equal, it means this is a rectangle. And this question counted 2 marks. You get 1 mark for the answer rectangle and 1 mark for the reason. Question 3.6. Calculate the size of angle RSQ. Angle RSQ is over here, and this angle is part of triangle QRS. This triangle is a right angle triangle, and if we need to determine the size of an angle, it means that we have to make use of sine, cos, or tan. So let's see what do we have in this triangle. In the first question, we determined that QP is equal to square root 5. But since this is a rectangle, we know that RS is also equal to square root 5. Then we've determined that QS's length is 5 square root 2. So in this triangle, if we work from angle RSQ, we know the length of the hypotenuse, that's QS, and the length of the adjacent side, RS. And adjacent and hypotenuse is the cosine ratio. So we can write then that cos of angle RSQ is equal to the adjacent side, that's square root 5, divided by the hypotenuse, and that is equal to 5 square root 2. And if we want to determine the size of angle RSQ, we take the inverse cos of square root 5 over 5 square root 2, and this is then equal to 71,57 degrees. This question counted 3 marks. You get 2 marks for cos of angle RSQ equal to square root 5 over 5 square root 2, and 1 mark for the answer.
And that's a wrap on today's fascinating journey through the world of knowledge. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our ever-growing community of curious minds. We can't wait to embark on new educational adventures together.